everyone, and welcome to episode 56 of Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast. Remember, if you like Xbox and games in general, make sure to join us live every Thursday here on YouTube. A little later than normal today, but we are usually live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So come on over, hang out with us. If you could, please head over to Apple Podcasts, drop us a rating and review. It really does help us grow. And if you leave us a 5-star review, I will read it live on the show. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and today I have the full panel here. So I welcome back Tom, Aman, and Garrett. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing good.
I'm doing great. I just got off a power nap.
Yeah, you look tired, dude. And you're in the dark. Looks like you need some coffee.
Isn't it 11 p.m. over there? Why?
Oh,
why
yeah.
power napping.
My day starts at 3 a.m. So I usually hit the bed by 8.
Why are you up so early?
That's an awkward hour.
Yeah, why?
That's my workout time. 3 to 5 a.m. That's when I work out.
Really?
What, you making gains?
You could work out. You could work out like, I don't know, after that.
No, that's
after school.
That's a good habit. That's a good habit, dude.
Yeah,
that's too early. I wake up at 6 for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the early. Like I used to wake up at 5.
See, I have classes my classes start at 7.
What college starts at 7 a.m.? What is this nonsense?
Cambridge.
Oh man.
Oh well, I feel sorry for you, Aman. A little tired boy over there. So we'll try to speed this along, or not. See how it goes. But as we do every week here on Project XTalk, we start each and every episode by going around the room and asking one simple question, and that question is, "What you playing?" So Tom, I'm gonna go to you first. What you playing, buddy?
Man, right now, Tales of Arise. I jumped back into it after probably 2 to 3 week like break from it. Pretty fun again, you know. I needed that to get back into the game. I'm actually enjoying it again, even though Kevin told me that I'm only halfway done at this point. That makes me not want to play again, to be honest, because I already have 26 hours in the game. Apparently, he beat the game in 40. So I'm looking at
100% 48.
Yes, I'm probably looking at like 60, 70 hours for completion of just the story. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm having fun. Really excited to see what the next arc would be after I finish all the lords off. So that's keeping me into it. Also, I've been playing Far Cry. What is it? Far Cry 5? Yeah. 5 or 6. Whichever the newest Far Cry game is.
Yeah, Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6. I've completed one of the islands pretty much entirely. Not islands, one of the sections entirely. I haven't even touched the next 2 at all story-wise. I'm pretty much just going in there, completing every single stupid side activity like Ubisoft loves me to do in one little area before I move on to the next area, and I forget all about the story. But fun times. The game has really good gunplay. I really appreciate it this time around. There's some things I really wish it did have, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
I mean, you can beat it. I'm not talking back to Tales. You can beat it. I believe in you. You can do it. 50. Like get at least 55. Like
I don't
max.
Dude, so there's a huge chance I probably won't play that game again for weeks.
That's fair.
I have Forza Horizon 5 right here preloaded. I got my steering wheel right here, right behind me.
Is it
ready up?
Is it live yet? Did you get the bonus, the premium?
I haven't tried it. I got off work and then I had to go, get some dinner. Went to the good old Taco Bell. Taco Bell is shit, by the way. They have the worst meat, but I wanted something cheap, and I was like, let me just get
Taco Bell sucks.
It does.
Taco Bell sucks. It's so overrated.
It does.
I had it for the first time this summer.
They have $5 boxes. They're cheap.
But it is not worse than Canadian Taco Bell. That's all that I'm saying, is that it's a huge upgrade from Canadian.
What's Canadian Taco Bell? Do they just throw like caribou instead of fucking beef? What's the deal?
No, it's just sadness that they put in those taco shells. Like there's no actual subject. Like the white bitten hamburger meat. When you make hamburger, it seems like that's like a good 25% of the content in those tacos, and it's just like it's gross. It's nasty. It's gross. And then I went down when I was building houses in Phoenix. I tried your guys' Taco Bell. I was like, it's actually somewhat justifiable now.
So I guess the thing is, as the further away you get from the Mexican border, the tacos get worse than Taco Bell. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree completely with that. Yeah. It's probably horrible up in Alaska.
Alaskan Taco Bell. Sweet. Well.
Besides that, I have nothing else gaming wise.
Cool. Well, I believe in you. You can do it. But we want to hear about Forza. You're gonna make some content for Forza, right?
There'll be content once I am able to play.
Awesome. Garrett, what about you? What you been playing?
I am going to be quick this week. So I downloaded, what was it? The House of Ashes, like those 3, the cinematic ones. And I was about to start playing them. And then I got shanghaied up to Edmonton, where I didn't even have time to pack up my Xbox. So I have loaded House of Ashes, the new Jurassic Park, and Forza, but I haven't had a chance to play anything.
Oh, you bought the new Jurassic Park?
Oh, of course. I'm going to be over that.
I asked for a review code for you.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know if we'll get one, but I asked. I was like, this seems a reasonable request. I know he wanted it, so let's put it in. But yeah. Well, you already bought it. I guess we can always give it away if they give us one. Well, that's sad. Hopefully you'll be back playing games soon.
Well, yeah. Be back on Tuesday.
Eminem over there. I'm on. You look like what you been playing, buddy?
Okay, so I decided to give Skyrim another shot. So like I was like on and off with that game ever since it came out, but now with the new patch came out with fishing and all of that, so I decided to check it out, and damn, I'm kind of hooked right now. I think I've put in about 20 hours so far.
What kind of playthrough are you playing? Like a vanilla-esque playthrough, or are you adding mods?
Oh no mods. That's too complicated.
You gotta get into the mods
that's
for like
too complicated for me.
Well, no, just the variety ones. Like there's ones that just add 200 more spells to the game, and then adds, I think it's like 30 something varieties of dragons, just add spice to the game so you don't see the same type of dragon 10, 15 times in a row. Like there's a lot of small ones that just make so much more immersive. And then there's one
I just find the mods tab too complicated.
Not only that, Amon, you lose out on gamer score if you use mods. That's the reason I
honestly, if you don't have 1,000 gamer score in Skyrim by now, something's wrong.
I don't have it.
I don't.
That's the reason why. Like when I first had Skyrim, I had it on the PS3, and I got the platinum trophy on there. So I'm not gonna do it again.
Oh yeah, I should actually say that. Yeah, I played on like the Xbox 360 originally. That was my 1,000 score playthrough. I think so. One of them.
I also asked for review codes for Skyrim Special Edition. That's coming out. I hope you aren't that sick. I hope you're really into it. If we get them, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's funny. Okay, Skyrim, cool. I think everyone loves Skyrim. Anniversary's coming up.
And that's all.
That's all you've been playing. All right.
That's all I've been playing.
Well, for an Xbox podcast, I'm about to talk about PlayStation a lot because I've barely touched my Xbox this week, guys. I do have one game on Xbox I'll get to, but I platinum Sly Cooper 2, and I have like 2 missions left in Sly Cooper 3. I'm not going to platinum it because the platinum in Sly 3 and 4 are crazy. Like they're not good. So I'm not going to do those. And I spent hold on. I want to talk about Sly Cooper a little more. They really dumb the series down as it goes. Has anyone played Sly Cooper? I might have asked this already, but like they really dumb the series down. Like the first one is a traditional 3D platformer. Second one, they kind of make it like some pseudo semi-open world. Still a collectathon though. There's still stuff to collect. In 3, they literally take out all the collectibles and literally are just like, you're gonna go mission to mission. It's just platforming now. No more collectibles. I don't know why. You can tell that 3 was basically made right at the same time as 2. They came out a year apart, but like a lot of the animations are exactly the same. The graphics are about the same. Like there really wasn't much improvement between 2 and 3. So I'm excited to end 3. I do like 3 better than 2.
Was it like a typical PlayStation game and he got into the same boat animation?
I mean, Sly Cooper has jumped on poles the same since Sly 1, so I guess
it's unoriginal.
I don't
Red flag.
I don't know, man. So I'm gonna finish 3, probably by the end of the weekend, and then I'm gonna start 4 and go through 4, and then I'm going to hop over to a game that I put an hour into, but I set it down because I want to finish Sly first, and that's Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. This is a remaster of like the PlayStation 3 game for PlayStation 4, and this game is like, there's nothing special about this game in the first hour I played. Has anyone played it?
I have. Like, this came around the same time that Skyrim came out.
Yes.
So I played Skyrim first, and I was fiending for another RPG, and I kept hearing about Kingdoms. So I was like, I got that game. Fun game. Actually, that's one of the ones that I believe they had a bunch of World of Warcraft developers on that one. They started the studio. It was a pretty good team, and I think got shut down right afterwards, which sucked.
Well, King Arthur says, I want to get this out of the way, hashtag jumped on poles. I mean, yeah, Sly Cooper's been jumping on poles for 4 games. But yeah, Kingdoms of Amalur, I played an hour, and I'm like, this is the most generic RPG, like Western RPG that you could think of, that was like putting it on the PlayStation 3. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. That I can see why this game got made in the time period that it got made. Like, there's nothing special in the first hour. Combat's fine.
The most generic RPG was Two Worlds.
I don't even know what Two Worlds is, I don't think.
Two Worlds basically came out in the same time, and its unique mechanic was you could combine weapons and strength. So most people's endgame weapon was the very first weapon of the game, because you just combined it 300 times.
Oh, never heard of this.
Yeah, I thought it was the most generic thing I've ever seen. Couldn't even get through the campaign.
Kingdoms of Amalur, like, you get the opening cutscene, and it's like the humans are at war with like the dark elves or something. They have special names. I don't remember the names, but you die in battle, and then you get brought back to life, and with some like magic powers. And I assume you're the chosen one that's going to take down the evil dark elf forces. Like, it just seems very cookie cutter. That being said, combat was a lot of fun, and like the story is kind of like, it's not bad enough where I'm like, I'm not gonna play this. It's kind of good enough that I want to give it more time, and it kind of has an open world feel going for it, like very what they could do on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Obviously, it's not gonna be like even Skyrim, I think, levels, but I'm gonna pick that up after I finish Sly Cooper.
Yeah. Who developed that game?
Oh my God. Great question. THQ Nordic, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense.
So it's one of those type of games.
They put out the B tier, C plus tier quality games that are like, this is pretty bad, but like not bad enough that I'm not going to play it. Exactly. Destroy all humans type of games.
So, Biomutant type of stuff.
Biomutant. Other than that, the game I've been playing on Xbox is AI, the Somnium Files. And we talked about this coming to Game Pass and like how it's highly rated on Switch.
Oh my God, yes. I downloaded that. I'm going to play it this weekend.
It's
like a graphic novel, right?
Yeah, it's a visual novel. Yeah. It's a visual novel. There's no gameplay. You literally like click on stuff to get like descriptions, and you're a detective trying to figure out like a murder mystery. And this game is anime as hell, man. Like I went over, I have gameplay of this. I'm pretty sure I recorded this for when I do Game Pass and review. You'll see this clip, but I clicked on like a secretary off in the background, and the main character's description was basically like, it's a secretary with really large breasts. And I was like, why did you have to write that?
Accurate description.
There's just like, there's a lot of those things and like very tropey anime-esque things going on. Like your main character's kind of a little pervert, but also he kind of acts like a badass. So we're gonna see. I don't know if I'll finish it. It's apparently like 24 hours long, and I'm like 2 hours in. It's a game where I started when I was Tuesday. I was feeling pretty down from my booster shot from COVID. Really hit me hard. So I was like, I just want something I could lay here and like click through. So I downloaded that, and the story is like keeping me engaged enough, but there are times where I was like, there's too much dialogue. Like we need to move this along. Like I don't care about talking about, an idol, a pop star. let's get on with this. But that's the only thing I'm playing on Xbox.
Wait. You guys got booster shots like confirmed, so you guys can just get them now. Yeah, they still haven't been approved here in the UK.
Yeah, they've been available. They're available for a while. You're supposed to. They're only recommended for people like 65 and older, people with pre-existing medical conditions. But I can get it through work, and I have asthma, which is a pre-existing medical condition. So I went and got it at the same time as my flu shot, and apparently mixing the two really mess you up. So yeah, I got messed up on Tuesday. We have a question though. What was the best game you guys ever played when you were younger and aged well? Okay, Ruthie Robles, welcome to the show. I don't know if we've ever seen you around here. Do you guys want to answer that now, or do you want to wait for the Q&A section at the end of the episode?
We could answer it now. They might not stick around that long. Ooh, but on the other side, we could force them to stay.
We can answer it now. We have some we have a few other questions for the end of the show. Does anyone have an answer for this? What's the best game you guys have ever played when you were younger and that's aged well?
Halo 2.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's a good
What
answer.
do you mean younger and aged well?
So when you were younger, you played it, but if you played it today, it would still be just as good.
Oh, okay. Then Batman Arkham Asylum.
That's a good one. I mean, I forget he's
younger than us, so I was like, that's
we have to deal with we have to deal with worse.
Yeah. I would have to say
Galaga.
King Arthur says Galaga.
Whoa, damn, that's before my grandfather, dude.
Whoa. Don't be taking shots at the king.
Some young parents in your family then, bud.
Don't be taking shots at the king, bro.
No, I would have to say, like, back then I was an RTS guy and I still was. So I would have to say StarCraft and Warcraft 3. Those games I thought held up amazingly. They still have a base.
It's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Ooh, another one. Civilization 5.
Yeah,
I think that's still the best Civilization game.
Really? I don't know. I just got into it with the last one, whatever, the 6.
6. I didn't like 6 at all.
For 7.
I think they ruined it with 6.
Really? I don't know. Maybe I should try older titles.
My answer is easy. Tales of Symphonia, my favorite game of all time.
Really?
I've played it like 11 times. I replayed it when it came to Steam like a few years ago, and it still holds up. Still just as good as I remember. I mean, by today's standards, like if you see your first Tales game and you're expecting like Tales of Arise combat, then you'll probably be a little disappointed because it's not as fluid as Tales of Arise. But it's still pretty damn good JRPG.
Would we be able to add BioShock? Would that count as an old game? Because I think it holds up amazingly.
Yeah.
I
would say BioShock, yeah.
Yeah, just because, like, I don't know. I like it because it was the first shooter where you're not too worried about the enemies as you are the environment that you are in. And I really like that. You could still hold up, and not too many modern games even try that. Like, yes, we all have the red exploding barrel, but that's about it, right? In like BioShock, I remember going through that game and you would always be looking out, where's your nearest puddle, where's your nearest pipes or a beehive or whatever was going on. I love the environment storytelling in that game. Good times.
That's a good shout. That's what, the mid 2000s, right? We're kids. Yeah. We're kids. Yeah, absolutely. So we hope that answers your question there, Ruthie. Thanks for the question, and thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We do a podcast every week and more content. So come on out, hang out. But yeah, gotta plug. That is key. But guys, now that What You Playing's over, that means it's time for a segue. So let's grab some books from the library while I tell you guys this week's stories. So story number 1. Sega and Microsoft are taking the next step in their relationship, but it is not the much lauded acquisition as many thought. Instead, it was revealed on Sunday in a press release that Sega and Microsoft were entering a strategic alliance to explore game development using Microsoft Azure cloud infrastructure. The partnership will help in the development of Sega's, quote, super game, which is years away, but will rely heavily on the cloud. The deal is being headlined by Vice President of Xbox, Sarah Bond. So we saw this, and I've seen a lot of debate. You know, this isn't to do with Xbox. There's nothing going on between Sega and Xbox. What are your guys' initial reactions to seeing this? What do you think it means? I'm going to go to Garrett. He seems primed and ready. He's off mute. What do you think about the strategic partnership?
I think it's interesting on how little they're telling us. Because, like, on one hand, it could be Xbox. We all heard about the rumors a year ago about how they were thinking about selling, like, a 95% Xbox designed to Sega for a kickback, right? So it could be something along the lines of that. But I read in a few articles online that it's going to be cloud-based. So who knows? Maybe we're going to get like a Yakuza Online where we all have our own little gangs, because they were very interested in the Azure, whatever
Azure. Azure Cloud.
Azure.
It's their infrastructure.
Yeah, they were really interested in that. And when we all first heard of that, it was with the Crackdown 3 with the multiplayer testing, right? So who knows? Maybe it's going to be a big gang terrain changing online game. Who knows? And also Phantasy Star would be a good one too, right?
Good shout, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a little bit more info, because really it could go any which way. Or we could just go with Garrett's conspiracy theories with our controller colors, and this is just rewording for acquisition.
I don't know about that.
They have an orange controller. It's happening.
They got a blue controller too.
Yeah, see? Doubled down.
And a red one, I think.
Yeah, and even black for Shadow. See?
Tom, what do you make of this partnership? Think there's more than meets the eye besides Cloud working together behind the scenes?
I mean, I just see it as another step in their partnerships, which I think is going to further develop down the line. They're going to get acquired at some point. Let's be honest here. It's going to happen. But as far as I'm more curious about what Sega's mega project is. Because honestly, in terms of like what they do with cloud and gaming, that really hasn't shown to be like a massive success. Besides, I would say in Microsoft Flight Simulator is the best example of like the cloud actually working to its fullest potential, where Crackdown was just, a bad game even without the cloud, I'd say.
I like Crackdown 3.
Okay, look, you're the minority, all right? But yeah, I would say, like Garrett was saying, Phantasy Star would be right up the alley, because Phantasy Star Online 2, that game came out in 2012. Even New Genesis isn't really like a full hands-on remake of the Phantasy Star Online 2. It's just more upgrades down the line. I would say they're probably primed for like an actual full open world Phantasy Star Online game that would be so much better. From what I played of Phantasy Star Online, what I hated was everything was super linear. And I think if they opened it up and allowed the cloud to help generate some of like the environments or whatever that may be, I think it'd be a great game. But apart from that, I have no other idea what can possibly be like in Sega's hands at this point. I want information. What is your project?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Aman, I want to get your thoughts on it before we go to the chat over here.
So yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my God, Microsoft acquired Sega. Let's go. But then I looked into it more and it was like, oh, it's just like a strategic partnership. So like this could mean anything from like every game that Sega works on using this technology could be Xbox exclusive, or it could just mean nothing. Like, because I think Microsoft and Sony had a similar partnership in 2019. So it could just be one of those. But yeah, I'm also more curious about what this mega game they're working on is. I'm hoping it's that One Piece RPG I pitched a while ago, like a massive open world One Piece RPG.
You think
this ain't Bandai? This ain't Bandai.
Doesn't matter, yo. Come on, it can happen. I'm pretty sure Sega saw my tweet and I don't know, like Aman wants it, let's make it. Come on. So yeah.
I'm somewhere in between probably all of you with this, where I'm like, I want more information about what it actually means when they say strategic partnership. And at first look, I'm like, okay, this is just for the cloud infrastructure, similar to the deal they had with PlayStation. This doesn't really mean much. But then Sarah Bond came out and was like, I'm the one, kind of front runner or leading this project. I'm the one that brokered the deal. So I'm like, why would the vice president of Xbox, Sarah Bond, be involved if this didn't have to do with Xbox in some capacity? So, we obviously don't know the details of this deal, but it would not surprise me at all. We've seen Microsoft and Xbox and Sega become very close recently, making those Yakuza deals for timed exclusivity, getting them all on Game Pass, becoming very buddy. I don't know about an acquisition, but I do think that we're going to see them really keep a tighter partnership this generation. PlayStation kind of has Square Enix. They have a really tight partnership, right? Like when you think Square Enix, you think PlayStation consoles. It's just what it is, even though they're a multi-platform publisher. I think my Xbox wants Sega to be associated with them. Like they want that Japanese company to be associated with their brand. So, maybe Sonic comes first before anywhere else, or it goes straight into Game Pass, some sort of deal. I think we're going to see that further this generation, just because there's so much groundwork for a strong relationship between Sega and Xbox there. And these deals only further that. They clearly like working together. And I would not be surprised if this super game was, turned out to be some sort of Xbox exclusive, because Xbox is helping them make it.
What kind of exclusive, though? Do you think it with the whole cloud-based system? You still think it'll be like an MMO, or what do you think?
The rumor was MMO, right? Like from what I saw, it was MMO, and we know that Microsoft they have that other MMO that they're working with that Finnish team for Mainframe.
Right? Aren't they working with IO for?
No, I'm not talking about IO. They have
okay.
they have a Finnish studio that they're doing a MMO with. I think they're called Mainframe or something like that. But we know those partnerships are there because they're testing cloud for Kojima. They're getting all the kinks worked out because they want Kojima to be able to come in, be like, this is what we've learned through our partnerships with them using this technology. And now we're going to make your cloud game that you pitch to us, that you have a letter of intent, supposedly, that he's going to make this game for them. I think they're really trying to work those kinks out. And this only goes to help, Kojima's partnership and any other future cloud partnerships. That's my theory behind everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the chat, and we have Asian Fury saying, if it brings Persona games to Xbox Game Pass, it's a big fat W.
Bro, I don't think that would happen even if Microsoft acquired Sega.
Well, they would acquire Atlas. They would have to.
Yeah, but Atlas is so reluctant to put their games on any other platform besides PlayStation. So
it depends. I think. Well, I mean,
PlayStation already lost Yakuza, right?
No, they still have Yakuza. It's just
just the exclusivity, right?
The timed exclusivity is on Xbox. Like it's that brand is is becoming more and more associated with Xbox. Yeah. Persona on Xbox, love it. Clearly, fans want it there. I want it there. We've seen Persona on PC, and Shin Megami Tensei is on Switch. So Atlas does work with other, console makers, but they don't have anything with Xbox going on. And I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer has said that he knows people want Persona and that they would work on that. So Ruthie goes, yeah, the wordplay. I assume that is in relation to the Sega Microsoft partnership as opposed to Sega Xbox, making some wordplay there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's interesting that they even name dropped the mega project they're working on. Because if Sarabon mentioned it, it means it's most likely going to be an Xbox exclusive. Because why would they mention if it's just a Microsoft and Sega partnership?
It's the new Sonic MMO.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
No,
I will
it's
have
the
the
One Piece RPG,
or whatever that little creature's name is. It'll be so strong.
Tails.
Oh god, Tails, the yellow fox. That's a throwback. Ash.
Do you guys see Idris Elba voicing Knuckles?
Oh yeah, Idris Elba is Knuckles. Yeah. He said he's not going to be a sexy Knuckles.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course. Why would I find an animal sexy? Like, I don't understand. Why do we have to specify this?
Hey, don't kink shame. We're not allowed to. It's 2021.
No, we can kink shame bestiality. No, I feel pretty
Well, no,
confident.
like the furry thing is a different thing entirely. I can't keep up. I live in the backwoods. I just come out to the city every 6 months and am appalled. But
Furries are different. We don't
what?
judge the furries.
I can't make a line on this. Like, it's just.
Listen, one of the best fighting game players in the world's a furry. All right, we don't judge.
Really?
Yeah, Sonic Fox. He's a furry.
I mean, I'll judge a little bit.
We're an open community here. If you're a furry, you're welcome. Anything else on the Sega partnership before we go on to story number 2, guys?
No, just let us know.
All right. Well, story number 2, and Tom, I'm going to start with you on this one, but let me read it first. Forza Horizon 5 reviews are out, and it continues Xbox Game Studios' stellar year. Playground Games' latest game in the Forza Horizon series is one of the most anticipated titles this holiday season, and while not officially out until early next week, unless you buy the early access bundle, reviews have been flowing in. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Video Game Chronicles gave it a 5 out of 5. Windows Central a 5 out of 5, and it currently sits on a 92 Metacritic and OpenCritic score at the time of writing, and I'm pretty sure it's still sitting there with more reviews. That makes it one of the highest rated titles of the year. Tom, I know you're super excited, as you said in the intro. Did you check out any of these reviews? What does this do for your hype level?
So I only checked out IGN's specific review, and I saw that they gave it a 10 out of 10. They were talking about how there's actually some story elements in this one this time around. So I'm actually curious to see what that's all about. So I didn't want to get too deep into because I didn't want to get spoiled. Horizon 2, there was no story. You just do the events like any other Horizon game and progress through your rankings that way. So I'm glad to see that there's some sort of smaller stories being thrown into this Horizon 5 game. I can't wait to try it out. I haven't even figured out what's going to be my starter car yet. And I would have figured that out like weeks ago, and I have no idea yet. But I'm excited, dude. 92, that puts it on, like, I believe the top 3 Xbox Series X games right now on Metacritic are all on Game Pass, including Horizon 5 now. So, this is just making Xbox look so much better. They've had a lot of good releases recently, like the Psychonauts was also really well rated. So it's looking up. I think from now till like the end of the year, we're gonna see like all the good scores for the Xbox Game Pass games, like the big exclusives like Halo Infinite. And dude, I just have a lot to look forward to. I just bought the expansion pass for Horizon 5. So I'm gonna have all the DLCs right off the rip as well. I can't wait, dude. This is easily one of my most hyped games of the year. Why am I on this podcast? I should be playing Forza, but responsibilities.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Shout out Luke Lore in the chat. I know you've been playing some Forza there, and along with Sean Capri, I saw him playing some Forza Horizon 5 all week on my friends list. I was like, oh, Sean got a review code. Garrett, do the reviews do anything for you? You gonna jump into Forza?
I am, of course, going to jump into Forza. I am not as crazy into it as Tom. Well, not as excited. Crazy is a bit of a hard word. But I don't know. It looks like fun. I can't wait to rip. I'm not so much of the racer, just so long as collect a cool car and just go off-roading. But I am really excited for that. The different types of terrain and everything, and it just looks beautiful. And like Forza is a great kickoff for our entire gaming fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Amon, before I get your opinion, Luke Lore from the Xbox Expansion Pass says, guys, it's so freaking good. There you have. I mean, you can catch his full review on the Xbox Expansion Pass later this week when he records on Sunday. I think it'll be on Monday. That's usually his time frame. But we have a stellar review here, guys. It's coming in. It's so good.
Yeah.
Amon, are you gonna jump into Forza Horizon 5?
I don't know. I might just like download it and play for like a while, but yeah, I'm not into racing games at all. I don't see the hype around them. Like, I
Yeah,
just
but
think
it's
they're
an
boring.
open world racing game.
Yeah.
I'm just racing to get a cool car to go blasting off of mountaintops.
Oh yeah, I think the open world element is kind of cool. I can probably get a car and just drive around the volcanoes and stuff. But yeah, not that hype. But then the Metacritic score, yeah, that's not because last time I checked it was like 91, and now it's gone up, so it's good.
I think I'm not the Forza guy, and I'm not sure I will play this like immediately, but the reviews made me want to like give it a try. Especially hearing that like to get fast travel checkpoints, you have to like kind of solve like a fun puzzle. Like, oh, it's up there on the roof, and you got to figure out how to like jump your car onto the roof or something. And then they have that like create it like the party mode thing where you can make like fun little things. I think that would be entertaining if you got like a group together.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
You all drove your cars and like, we're going to go bowling with our cars or whatever you're going to do. The reviews just make me want to like play the game. Like it does sound fun when people are describing the way you can just go from like a vehicle to doing something else. Kind of like, I heard people describing it similar to like Riders Republic in the fluidity of doing your motions. So kind of got me interested. I don't know when I'll get to it, but definitely more intrigued now that I know it's like a certified banger, that maybe I will pick it up. But Tom, I know you're over there with your racing wheel, and you're gonna vroom after this podcast.
Yeah, I can't wait. And Luke Lore posting that in the chat, just like, do you want me to get off the podcast, dude? Like, do you want me to just go play?
Yeah,
I can
we don't
leave,
need
guys.
for him to go.
Yeah. Well, everyone, check out Forza Horizon 5 when it drops on Game Pass it's the 9th, right? Officially the 9th, unless you buy the premium access bundle.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yes. So Tuesday you can officially play it. But we're going to move on to story number 3. Speaking of Game Pass, we have our first Game Pass update for November. So as we do twice a month here, we let you know what titles are coming to Xbox Game Pass so that you can plan your gaming accordingly. And we have quite the first half of the month, guys. November 2nd, which already happened, so 2 days ago, Minecraft Java and Bedrock Edition came to PC. And Unpacking came to cloud, console, and PC, which I've heard good things about Unpacking. It's a short 2-hour game, but I've heard it's really enjoyable. So maybe go check that out.
About? Like, I just looked at it and skimmed over it because I was like, oh my God, I could just imagine an unpacking simulator.
I think it's about unpacking. I honestly think it's about unpacking. It's like it's one of those overcooked games, but like doing something else. I think that's what it is. Okay. Luke Lore has one more comment. The best part is how playable it is. Car nuts and casuals will all love it. So good. Ooh, he's
Luke, be quiet. I'm stuck 12 hours from home. Stop.
We'll get there. We'll all get through it. We'll all play Forza Horizon 5. But Game Pass games. Today, November 5th, critically acclaimed title It Takes Two comes to cloud, console, and PC. Kill It With Fire also comes to cloud, console, and PC. November 9th, we have Football Manager 2022 coming to cloud, console, PC, and Forza Horizon 5 coming to cloud, console, and PC. November 11th, we get Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the definitive edition on console, and One Step from Eden comes to cloud, console, and PC, not cloud.
Sorry,
guys, I'm going to go first here. I think this is a stellar month. I want to know what titles are interesting you guys. But for me, It Takes Two is definitely the standout. I haven't bought it because I didn't have anyone to play with. But since it's coming to Game Pass, my brother agreed to play it with me. So I think we're going to download it. It should be installed on my Xbox. I think it's live now. So I'm probably going to hop off and go play some It Takes Two and hopefully report back next week on my experience, because people are saying this is a genuine Game of the Year contender. Has anyone jumped into it?
No, I tried downloading it once, and me and the girl were gonna play it, but they only give you the Act 1. And I was like, well, I couldn't justify it, and then we just never got around to it.
Bummer.
From all the trailers I've seen, it looks pretty interesting, but it wasn't anything I was too into.
No, I think out of all the games there, that's probably the game I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
I've heard, I've heard quite a lot of good things about it. So yeah, I might check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Football Manager, I'm not really. I'm kind of past my Football Manager days. That was more like in college. I played some Football Manager. And then Grand Theft Auto, I'm not a Grand Theft Auto guy, but what
San Andreas.
I'm gonna throw it over to you guys now. What titles are standing out to you, Garrett? You want to give me what's your feeling here? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'll go It Takes Two first because I got a couple buddies that I can play it online. San Andreas for strict nostalgia value, and that unpackaged game just because I want to see if it's actually an unpackaging game.
It's only like 2 hours, man. You can probably blow through it.
Easy score. Like I can unpack a truck. I've done 2 today.
I think it's like that game on PlayStation, the Mayo game.
Oh, my name is Mayo.
Yeah.
And then I think my name is Mayo too. It's literally you like click a jar of mayonnaise and get a
I got both of them.
Yeah. You click a jar of mayonnaise like 500 times and get a platinum trophy. But Aman, you're looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 2? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to GTA San Andreas. Only because I want to see the new meme in 4K. That's the only thing I care about. And It Takes Two.
Did you play San Andreas, or is that like before your
the first? Yeah, that's way before my time. I don't think it was before my time. It came out after Vice City, right?
Yeah,
I played Vice City. That was one of the first games I've ever played, and I played that at like 8.
Okay, so you just ignored San Andreas.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Which of these are piquing your fancy?
All right, so there was a One Step from Eden.
Yeah.
So it's a card-based anime-looking game. So I love deck builders. I love games like Slay the Spire. There was one on that came on Game Pass recently. I think it was called like a Ring of Death. I love games that allow me to build a deck and just like go out there and make something new every single time. It makes the experience like really unique and fresh. Can't wait for that game to come out. There's also Kill It With Fire. I actually downloaded this last night, this morning. I mean, I tried it a little bit during my break. There was a spider on a toilet and I bombed it with like TNT. So pretty much the goal is to kill the spider in like the most ridiculous way as possible. I love it. I think my wife will love it because she hates spiders, and this will allow her to get her anger out. Obviously, Forza Horizon 5, we already glossed over that one too much. And then San Andreas, I'm really excited for this one. I was going to buy the entire collection, but now that San Andreas is coming out to Game Pass, I'm going to wait for the physical release. Since GTA games, they normally come with like a map and like a big poster whenever you buy the physical release, and I'd rather have that than buy the digital version, which comes out like 2 weeks from now. And I think the physical collection comes out in December, though. So,
yeah, physical's December, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I mean, the visuals don't look too great. I mean, it's still, a PS2 gen game with.
Listen, man, someone that's been playing PS2 games through the cloud for the last month. It's all right. They look better than I expected. They look better than I remember.
Better. I've seen better. I've seen better enhancements. That's what I'll leave it at that. But either way, I'm gonna play it.
Are they selling each game individually, or is this literally just for Game Pass?
It's just for Game Pass. So, for example, if you want Vice City, which is the only one not coming for free either on PS5 or Xbox, you have to buy the full collection. There's no individual games.
That's kind of frustrating because I was gonna say if they were separate, you could hypothetically play San Andreas on Game Pass, play GTA 3 on PS Now, and then buy the other one separate, and then like you wouldn't have to pay for all of them. But since it's a collection, I guess I get what they're going for.
I mean, they still remove the old copies, but whatever.
Yes, they did. All right. Well, those are your titles. So look forward to those coming to Xbox Game Pass, although a lot of them have come. But story number 4, this is going to be a quick one. If you are looking forward to playing some of your favorite Halo maps in Halo Infinite, So I'd back it up there a little bit because in an interview with IGN, developers 343 have said that Halo Infinite likely won't have any map remakes. Map remakes have always been a staple of Halo games and a way to bring back fan favorite maps into the new games. But developers said that they want to make Halo Infinite's maps feel fresh, and they hope that some of the maps can be reminiscent and capture the essence of previous Halo maps without being direct remakes. I was paraphrasing there. It wasn't a quote, but that's essentially what they said. I'm okay with this. I'm completely okay with this, guys. As someone that's been playing the Master Chief Collection a lot, there's a lot of problems with the old maps. Like in terms of modern game design, some of them are good, but there are a lot, especially in big team battle, there are a lot of maps where the spawns are terrible, in my opinion. They're not good for current modern gaming multiplayer standards.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about them not having remade maps either. Even in Halo 5, they didn't do I don't believe they did any map remade, actually. I think all of the remade maps were done specifically through Forge. So they were like made in Forge and then put into the main game. So they weren't like actual direct remakes. And I know Halo Infinite, once the Forge comes out, what is it? Q1 of next year at some point, maybe?
Q2.
Co-op's
Q1.
I mean, at that point, we'll get remade maps anyway from the community because they will love it and they'll do it. So I don't necessarily need 343 to do that themselves. Focus on the new stuff. Us who loves nostalgia, we'll make it. We'll make it happen.
Garrett, you gotta go first, or should I?
I
would prefer going last. I would prefer going last.
I am only disappointed that there isn't like a subcategory where there is Guardian and Blood Gulch. I only want 2 maps remade. I couldn't give a crap about the rest of them. Just those 2. And it's a little disappointing that I can't have that. But hey, I'm only one man.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about this either. But because the old Halo games are genuinely terrible. So,
oh my god!
I'm already concerned about them remaking.
You smell like cheese.
Maps, so yeah.
Can we mute him? Can we mute him? You're done. not hearing this nonsense. I knew he was going to say some stupid.
Right.
You forget where you are.
I'm disappointed on the old maps suck.
They do though. So I'm glad 3 are being original and try to make Halo great.
I actually wish that they would cancel Halo Infinite. Halo.
No, I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite. But yeah. Halo Combat Evolved, terrible. Halo 2, terrible. Halo 3, terrible. Halo 4, okay. Halo 5,
I will
terrible.
drag you through them all eventually.
No, you won't. You won't.
Yeah, I might, probably won't. I don't have the patience for Garrett. Where's the sprint button? There is no sprint. Oh, and then he quit.
I think King Arthur with this emoji is summing up how we're all feeling about him. Right now. Just
good depiction.
Wow.
I have to throw it in there each episode, guys.
I know.
You don't. Here's an idea. Just don't.
Some people are compelled to do weird things. Okay.
Like there are a lot of people on Reddit that I see say stupid stuff, and I'm like, I could correct them. I'm gonna let it go. I'm just gonna move on. No need to start this argument.
I'm the living embodiment of those people.
Yeah, you're the living embodiment of a Reddit troll, but just for Halo.
Yep.
He goes in the Halo forums. Game sucks. All right, we're moving on. Crack has been smoked since King Arthur.
Yeah, right.
That's what's keeping him awake. It's like it's almost midnight.
Yeah,
right now.
He's high on
he's in the UK. Right now. Would make sense.
All right, we're moving on to our last story of the day. Story number 5. We have another rumored game to discuss. We discussed a few last week. The rumor, as a lot of them do, come from Jeff Grubb. Today, he is talking about Project Missouri, one of the smaller titles being developed at Obsidian. We've already been told Obsidian is working on multiple games and is split up into multiple teams. However, Project Missouri is being headed up by Josh Sawyer, will focus on experimental mechanics interactions It is set in 16th century Europe. The game will be a murder mystery RPG with no combat and is expected to come out next year. Guys, initial reactions to hearing the details about this game. Tom, I'm throwing it over to you. I can't take him on right now. You gotta circle back to him.
All right, so I actually have high hopes for this one, and I really hope that what Obsidian does with this is like an isometric RPG, sort of like the Pillars of Eternity. Have you guys heard of Disco Elysium?
I was gonna say I think this should be Disco Elysium, but Obsidian's version.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think I can see them pulling this off so well because Disco Elysium took off so much inspirations from Pillars with like the whole like isometric and everything. I believe that Obsidian could pull this off so well, and I'm not even gonna need to do any sort of combat for this game to be amazing as long as they can pull it off. I love detective games. I love the Sherlock Holmes games. This would just give me another reason to just dive right in and just like have some fun.
Are the Sherlock Holmes games good? Because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. Like in general, like I just think he's very interesting. Are they actually like worth my time to go play?
No. Unless you really like that niche, I would say no.
He's honest.
Okay.
There was not even a half second of thought. No.
Maybe if they come to Game Pass, save me some money, Tom. Have you played Disco Elysium? Because this is one I've been hearing. Lord Cognito, friend of the show, shout out. He's been grinding it hard. He's got like 25 hours into it recently, and he loves the game. Have you played it?
Yeah, I got it on PC. I think last year, whenever it came out. I have about 30 to 40 hours in it. I don't think I beat the game, but it's pretty good.
Is that worth my time? If I was like,
yeah, and it's only like a $30 game. Okay. So yeah, it's not a lot.
Okay, that might be one I add to the wish list and see if I can grab.
I think it's on sale right now on the PlayStation Store, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting. Okay, all right. Garrett, what do you think about Project Missouri?
I am not excited for this at all, and I wish that they would not spend money.
Oh my God, why?
It's just I don't know. No, I'm not trolling at all. It's when I hear detective game, all that I hear is let's walk through a poorly lit castle, pick up instruments, and do little puzzles where I have to look at the placement of said item, putting it into the thing, and that just infuriates me. Like I just consider those games just a long string of time-consuming mechanics. Like, I think you guys can all agree, right? Like, is it not a little bit idiotic where, okay, you have to go into the room and pick up the little jewelry box. All right. Then you have to press 3 different buttons to open all the compartments of it, look for the little code. That's not in the friggin' jewelry box. It's on a leg on the underneath that you wouldn't have looked there the whole friggin' time. And it just after 30, 40 times of doing that, I'm done.
That's the fun part.
I said the medium was a 9 out of 10, and you're describing a lot of things that the medium has to do.
That I can't do that stuff. It's just a weird time-consuming mechanic. Give me my jewelry box. Let me run to the door. Let me slap it through so I can find the bad guy.
That's fair. All right. Well, then I will. We won't be going to you for a review of this game.
Don't give me the review code on this one. It won't be good.
Aman, what are you thinking?
This sounds interesting, especially it's coming from Josh Schroyer. I think he was the lead on Fallout New Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
No idea.
Oh, so yeah, I think it has potential, and the fact that it's coming out next year, interesting. So, and yeah, it's set in 16th century Europe. I think that's a little okay. Let me flex my vast history, knowledge of history, European history.
Please do.
So, yeah, 16th century Europe was part of the 30 Years' War. So that's like one of the biggest wars in history. So that's like Protestant versus Catholic. So, how are they gonna make a murder mystery game during a period of war? That's kind of
actually that's probably the biggest draw to that game that I've seen so far, because there's going to be lots of murder. It's war.
Yeah. Well,
I just Googled it and it said the 30-year war was in the 17th century.
Ooh,
he flexed on you.
Okay. Okay.
Let me rip my mic off real quick and drop it on the floor.
The Reformation. The 16th century was the Reformation period. Okay, that's when like Catholics.
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
That's when Protestants split out from the Catholics, and yeah.
No, I'm literally just teasing. But quick, let me rip this arm off and drop it on the floor.
Can we just give like mad respect that Obsidian's working on 4 games right now?
Yeah,
I mean
5.
This
5.
They're split. They're a big studio and they're splitting into small teams. Like we got the team working on Grounded. I can't imagine this team is much bigger than the team working on Grounded. But like if they can pump out games, like they said they wanted to put one out every year for the next 7, right?
7 years.
Yeah. So this would keep in line with that. We got this game, then we got Avowed. Like they're gonna hit those quotas for if anything is to be believed. And I'm excited. Like Tom, you got me way more like reading this. I was like, yeah, that could be fun. But then you kind of sold me on like Disco Elysium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That game should be. If that game comes to Game Pass, I'll play it again.
No, I think it could be isometric because Josh Sawyer. I'm just looking it up. He worked on he was the lead on all of the Pillars of Eternity games. So could be.
Bodes well. So that's exciting. We'll see more soon, probably, if that's coming out next year. I can't imagine they'll wait too long to reveal that. But that's all the news we got for this week, guys. We're gonna have a fun topic, little bit of fun here to end the show, and it's a Q&A. So I posted on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, go follow us on Twitter at Project XTalk. You can tweet us questions. We ask for questions most week. If we don't get any, we'll do a different fun topic. But if you want your questions read on the show, please shoot us some questions. This week, we got Lucas Agan from the Land Parties podcast. He's asking us some questions. So question number 1 that I want to pose to you guys. What is one game you think would benefit the most from the Mass Effect Legendary Edition treatment? Give you a few minutes to think about it. A few seconds, not minutes. We're running a podcast here. Easy. Okay, man.
Arkham series.
I knew it. You love Batman.
Yeah, that.
No, but like, what other game? What other trilogy comes to mind? Which is as iconic as Mass Effect, I would say.
Yeah, I mean BioShock.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't mind saying too.
Did that already get a remaster
Well, it got a remaster, but really they just doubled the resolution. I want a complete reskin because you could still tell, especially in number 1, with its softer angles and shapes, that it was still dated. They just resurfaced it. Like, I want a complete redo.
Didn't they? Wasn't that what they did with Mass Effect?
With Mass Effect, I believe that they changed. I think they took like the core mechanics and redid it because I know that they changed like ammo systems through the whole series, so that it was, I believe it was 3 that they kept the ammo system for, and just stuff like that. And just more environmental storytelling, I would like, or not more environmental storytelling, but more icicles and puddles to play with. Would not mind.
Okay, those are good shouts. BioShock, Arkham. Tom, did you say BioShock, Tom?
Yeah, he's the one who said BioShock. I stole it from him, so I have to think of one.
I'm gonna throw out Splinter Cell, the first trilogy. I know that like there are more than 3 games, but really like the first Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory are like the good 3, right? Like put those in a trilogy bundle, and we're good.
See, but my thing is, like, since we're talking about like Mass Effect styled remakes, the fact that they did so little in terms of like actual gameplay adjustments, and I feel like the old Splinter Cell trilogy actually needs a lot of improvement for it to be any good.
I disagree. I disagree so strongly. What are you talking about?
See, BioShock and Arkham, you can jump right in, and they'll feel still really good. Splinter Cell 1, what? I don't know, dude. I think I need to overhaul. It's more than just a Mass Effect treatment.
I can't believe what I'm hearing here. You think the original Splinter Cell doesn't hold up? You think those 3 games don't hold up?
Yeah, I don't think they hold up at all.
Wow.
If you would have said like the
aren't they from like the
games?
1990s? Why would they hold up today?
1990s? What?
They're from the 1990s.
They didn't have a sprint button. Come on.
They did have a sprint button. You could run.
Oh, what? They were way ahead of their times. Amon, you should play.
No, they're not from the 1990s. They're from the 2000s.
Oh.
And they're great. They're fantastic
Yeah,
games.
why don't you just call us a
another
fogey
game?
a couple times?
Another game trilogy came to mind. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
It's not a bad shout,
Yeah, it's not bad.
right?
I can use it. I mean, Dark Souls 3 is like locked, not even 4K at all.
Yeah,
Xbox
except
One.
for I want them to have one mechanic where you have to take the really tall helmets off going up a ladder because your head would get stuck. Remember, like the little thing where ding, 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 ding down the stairs or down the ladders? They should make it so you get stuck on the way up. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, I have another one.
That's
Max
the call.
Payne.
Max Payne. Is there a
Max
third?
Payne would be
think
pretty
it's
good.
3, right?
There's 3 games technically. but
Okay.
The third one was on the PS3 and 360.
No, I'm like, I can't remember Max Payne 3. I only remember Max Payne 1 and 2. That's my old man brain going on. Those are good shouts. This is a lot more than I expected, guys. Sly Cooper. Playing through, they could definitely use. So first of all, guys, you have to play inverted for things like shooting and flying. There's no option to not play inverted, and it messes with my brain every time. It's so frustrating.
I got one more. It's not a trilogy. There's only 2 games, but I'm throwing it
Jack
here
and
anyways. Prototype.
Ooh, yeah, Prototype. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
But that's not tasty.
That's not 3, is there?
No, there's only 2 games.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, it says what one game do you think would benefit most?
Oh, okay, so then we went above and beyond.
We were doing trilogies, but I did think of another trilogy that Fable.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Fable 100%. They could tighten up a lot. They could fix a lot of the things in 3. Like
if they just got rid of the if they just made it sharper and got rid of like the fuzziness. Because I played 3 not too long ago, and I just didn't like how like fuzzy and fanciful it was. Like, don't get me wrong, still a beautiful game, but if they made it sharper and a little bit more gritty, it would be amazing.
They need to fix the camera on 1. If you go back and play Fable 1, the camera is terrible. So that'd be a good quality of life. Amon, last one, and then we're going to move on to the second question.
Fallout 1, 2, and 3.
Like the isometric 1 and 2?
Yeah,
I was gonna say I don't know if those would fit. 1 and 2, yes.
I never played 1 and 2.
They could make it again like Disco Elysium, but Fallout. You know, like a remake from the ground up. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they fix up the combat in Fallout 3 as well, because I think the combat in Fallout is so dated now.
Well, yeah, just because they relied on the switch from isometric locking onto body parts to switching it over to first person, they still that's where the whole VAT system came from, right?
Yeah, so I mean, it felt good in 4. So if they go like to 4 sort of.
Oh my
combat,
god! Okay, guys, Gears of War.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's okay. Can we get him out of here? Get you both out of here. Me and Garrett are running the show.
Why was wrong with Gears of War?
No, Tom said it was trash. You said Halo's trash, so I'm kicking you both out.
What? Tom, what is wrong?
You guys know this. I've said this.
Yeah, I know this. I just was hoping you would not say it.
They had beautiful stories about the collapse of a planet with some overly aggressive bulk people.
Yeah, I want to know what protein shakes they're taking, but
yeah, dude, even like their daughters could kick everyone's that I've ever met's ass.
Gears 1 through 3, the story is genuinely very good. Like it's super
really
emotional. Like it's a great story. I don't get why you don't like them, but
like personally, really as far as stories go in the Gears series, I think 5 was the worst.
Yes, I agree. 5 is my least favorite.
Like
I know that's an
the
unpopular
whole
opinion.
Conflict between like me and my buddy played it together. and we basically made our own script to that game.
Yeah.
And it was way better with Katie just trying to drag her friend into the trees to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked 4. I liked Gears 4 a lot. Gears 5 was a disappointment for me. It was just average, even though people are like, "This is the best Gears in a while," and I'm like, "I don't know."
Like I like the shooting. It was just her story. Like even the dude's side of the story, I liked. It was just hers.
Gears 4 gameplay was really good because, like, coming off of Gears 3, I think the gameplay in Gears 4 was really improved a lot. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. One more question. What is one game that didn't work for you that you think had the most potential? So a game that you thought was going to be good, but ultimately fell short of what you thought the potential of that game was. And boy, do I have some for this list. But
I think I'll Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, where should I start? Marvel's Avengers, Crackdown 3, Anthem.
Oh yes,
list off a few off the top of my head.
Oh yes, I know one. Guys, I know one. Halo.
All right,
I'm going to kill this guy. How much is a plane ticket?
They're pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, I'll find you. And guess what?
Tom.
Okay.
I would say Outer Worlds.
Ooh,
I think
Outer Worlds. Ooh,
I honestly
Why
feel
did
like
you have high expectations for Outer Worlds? It's a AA indie game.
I don't care if it's a AA game, dude. I played Pillars of Eternity. It's not a AAA game either, but it blows it out of the water story-wise as well. So smaller studios can definitely make good games. So with the expectation to say that just because it's a AA game, it's not going to be, held to a higher standard. I played indie games that have way less developers that have a much better story, better gameplay.
I loved Outer Worlds, so I don't know what you're on about.
So Outer Worlds had a fundamental issue that I did not like about it. And a lot of it had to do with the corporation aspect of it. I feel like they tried to create this like paradigm where the corporations control everything, but every corporation pretty much felt exactly the same, more or less. It all came down to the same exact concept.
I couldn't agree.
Corporations are bad, but there was no real variety in that. I'm really hoping that in the next game they up it up.
That makes sense.
Like the combat of Outer Worlds worked, but I feel like the world that surrounded it could have been so much better because I've seen way better games that handles big corporations managing the world so much better. For example, just look at Cyberpunk, for example, Deus Ex. Those games work just as well, where it's like this hyper futuristic, corporations control everything, but they actually make them feel different. And this game is just like, they're there, you want some tuna, you might die. I mean, just a weird game.
This is okay. I'm gonna let me clip this moment. Actually, Tom complimented Cyberpunk.
40. So that's fair.
Just so you'd stop dissing Halo. Now take it.
He's gonna make it. There goes the next TikTok.
I would say just this year, 12 minutes was that game where I thought it had a lot of potential, and ultimately, I feel like it fell way short of what it could have been. It could have been a really good game. Like the premise is there, execution was very bad.
I could say the same for The Ascent.
Ooh, yeah.
I expected a lot more RPG elements within the game, but it was more of a shooter.
I think Mass Effect Andromeda is a good shout.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Because I beat the whole game. I don't think it's nearly as bad as everyone says, but considering what it could have been coming off Mass Effect 3, less, 2 more so, but it could have been so much more. Does anyone have anything else before we wrap up the show?
Wait, I might.
I would say Iron Harvest because tactical RTSs are a joke to the series. Or genre, I should say. No, it is a good game, but when I get an RTS game, I want to build a big base. I want to have my lineup of defenses and cannons and have my little outer bases that are also generating resources, right? But in tactical RTS, like this new like subgenre that's coming out in the RTS system that Iron Harvest is a pinnacle of, you could, instead of making one individual unit to make like a cluster or a troop, you can only make a fully developed troop, and you only get 12 of them. And you have to go around the map taking strategic points for like, it's basically an RTS version of Capture the Flag in a way. And I feel it takes away from the whole RTS genre. And Anthem, I just feel that they really should have just completed the first imaginary or envisioning of the game and stuck with it instead of that garbage that they released to the public.
Should have been Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one. I just recently played this like a few months ago. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I think he just
finds good games and then slams them on purpose. Do you just look up
No, I mean it's a good game. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but then I thought it could have been a lot better. And I didn't think it was 2017 Game of the Year for sure.
What would you change?
Yeah, what would you change?
I don't know. Something felt off about that game. It felt too Ubisoft-ish.
Really? I didn't feel that. No, I was refreshed at how little Ubisoft it was.
See, I thought you were going to complain about your weapons breaking or your armor breaking and having to replace it.
Yeah. The only complaint on that game is I hated taming horses. I don't know if I couldn't get the mechanics.
I don't mind that stuff, but then like it just felt like a Ubisoft game, which
Really.
Listen, normally I roast them on for these things. I haven't played Breath of the Wild. I'm not going to play Breath of the Wild. So, but it's my brother's like second favorite game ever or something. It's up there. But it's not for me. I know it's not for me. I like older Zelda games like Ages of Season or whatever it's called, Ocarina of Time. But Breath of the Wild ain't for me, and I know that, and I can deal with that and move on. I'm not out here on a podcast saying that it didn't live up to its potential. But that's all we got for this week.
You know what I thought was better? The prequel, I think, the Age of Calamity Hyrule Warriors.
Okay, all right, you're done now. Right. You're done now. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, we're done.
Bye. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tom, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Alpaca Tom. You guys can find me on YouTube here or on my other channel, Broken Control.
Garrett, where can they find you?
You could find me on Wayworn G and Xbox and Twitter.
Aman, where can they find you and all your hot takes?
You could find me on Twitter at Aman_M05.
And in brackets it says Halo Hater.
And I'm Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and that's a 1 instead of an I and an O instead of an A. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're close to 200. We want to get 1,000 in the next year, guys. So please, if you're listening and you're not subscribed, please come over and subscribe, even if you're an audio listener. If you are an audio listener, make sure to drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll read it next week. Until then, goodbye.
Peace out.